this, I'm joined now by Ritu Mehrotra, the Regional Manager South Asia at Booking.com. Ritu, great to have you on the India Development Debate. Thank you so much for speaking with us today. Let me begin by just getting your overview on the news that we've got today from the Health Ministry that has talked about how Omicron is quickly replacing Delta in the places where these cases are being detected. They've cautioned against unnecessary travel and large gatherings. Is that bad news for the travel industry? Do you think it's going to impact the way people behave when they have to plan their next holiday?
Well, yeah. I think it's a fight of user confidence in a lot of ways. And prior to the news of the latest Omicron variant with increasing vaccination rates and some borders beginning to open already, right, that we saw before the news broke out, there was already a renewed sense of optimism within the travel industry and when, people were thinking about taking the next holiday. However, we have seen time and again throughout this pandemic that there will be bumps along the way. This variant has shown that to us yet again. So I feel that, we are not out of the flight yet. We are still in the flight. Till the time the new variants are continuing to come out in the market. But good thing is that, the vaccination rates of our country has been fantastic. 450 million people vaccinated fully is, a scale which is unheard of. And also, if I look at one shot, 1.2 billion people have been vaccinated in the country. So I would say that people will have to exercise caution. Use your own judgment when you are thinking about traveling. I would say that, we are not out of this flight yet, and we have to be cautious.
So are you seeing this caution reflect in choices that travelers are making? I mean, that would be interesting insight. For example, we saw for a large part of 2021, the homestay became very popular. Or very large hotel chains or groups where, there will be good security and cleanliness and hygiene and sanitation. Do you see that continuing? Do you, for example, seeing the drivable distance holiday destination continuing to be popular?
Yes, absolutely. And travel has been in the influx for the last couple of quarters now. And we have seen that, different demand patterns with every new variant. And also we have to understand it's been 2 years we have been in this situation. So number one, you're absolutely right. I think safety, sanitization has been the top of the mind of the travelers. And that is one of the reasons Booking.com actually came up with some of these measures on our website and app so that users can actually look at what are the kind of norms for the destinations that they're going for. Second, you touched upon a very interesting point of home stays. We call it alternative accommodation in our term. And alternative accommodation will mean villa, home stays, beach houses, and so on. And we did see that there was a surge in searches for alternative accommodation, which continues to be a very large part of our business even today, because people are not still sure about, mingling a lot with other travelers as well. And good thing is that, we have the largest inventory to do that in the country. The third is, right before the new variant came in the market, we started to see, a small glimpse of people looking at going outside of India as well. Destinations like UAE, Sri Lanka, Maldives has been top of the charts as well, UK, France. However, with the news when it broke out about the new variant, we saw that, again, domestic picked up. And apart from the large metros, which is Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, we also seeing surge within places like Pondicherry, Udaipur, and so on. So these are some of the trends that we've been seeing, and I feel that, some of these will continue to stay and going nowhere, purely because, as I said, right, the fight is still on.
Yeah. When you say that alternative accommodations like villas, homestays, etc., are a large part of bookings. Can you give us a ballpark figure or an idea of what share of bookings now are dominated by these segments rather than the traditional hotel chains?
So I will answer this question in two ways. Number one is, if I look at the global business of Booking.com, right, over 25% business is alternative accommodation. If I was to look at India only, we have overall about 140,000 listings of only alternative accommodation, right? So that's a very, very large scale and one of the largest inventories that is available on any platform. So that's the sense of the scale, and also it's growing tremendously because we are a data-driven company, and we look at what kinds of properties are being sold on the platform and in which destinations, and that's together we call demand-driven destinations. And when we look at this and then we sort of acquire more supply. So we have not stopped. We're continuing to acquire more supply within the space as we see that the demand is on the upward streak.
Now give me an idea of what's happening around the last week of December. It is a busy period for travelers. Have you seen a dampening of enthusiasm because of Omicron, or are domestic travelers still willing to go out there? What are the price points like comparative to the rest of the year in terms of increases? Can you just give us a picture of what is happening with the trends there?
So there are two or three things that we're observing. So number one, the moment the news broke out, we did see our cancellations go up because at Booking, you can cancel anytime, and so that happened instantaneously. However, people have also started to adjust with this kind of unpredictability. And one of the things that we had to introduce as well was flexible policies. Wherever you're going, you can actually cancel your stay a day before you even arrive. So I think that is something that helped us through the way. But now we're seeing that business is coming back, and obviously people are still using a lot of caution. If I was to look at where are people spending most of their time, so traditionally if I saw, people would spend a lot of time looking at reviews, pictures, pool, and so on. Now people are spending more and more time looking at what are the social distancing norms, what are the sustainability norms, right? So that pattern has changed in terms of what people are looking on our website and where they're spending time before they actually book the next accommodation. As I mentioned to you, right, drivable distance has continued to be talked about. That I think will continue as well, because we did see a little shift in demand patterns, and we did see that people were making reservations for outside of India, but we've also seen a fair bit of cancellation. So for the last, week of December, we're seeing drivable distances continuously on the rise, that people will continue to go places that are close by. Staycation is a trend that we saw, that emerged within COVID times. Staycation is something that you're in the city, short distance away, where you go enjoy, services of the hotels, and that gives you a little bit of a break from your work from home kind of a lifestyle as well. So that we feel will continue. And third is, as I said, homestays, alternative accommodation. But we also now seeing a very balanced view. People are okay to go to good 5-star properties as long as they're maintaining, as I said, social distancing norms. So I think as long as it's a mix of these, demand is not going to be anywhere close to what it was prior to 2019 or even till some time back. But I think there is still optimism in people with a lot of caution.